Welcome to the Healthy Metal Hippie podcast, where art and wellness collide. I'm your host, Ashley, and I am so excited to connect with you today. Now, let's jump into today's episode, ready to rock and with an open heart.
Yay!
Well, hi, and welcome back. Today we are here with my friend Lauren. She is one incredible woman. She is a model. Clearly, if you are watching this on YouTube, you can see her. Clearly, she's a model. And she is also an incredible yoga instructor and just a beautiful spirit. So, welcome. Thank you so much for being here today, Lauren.
Oh, thank you. That's a lovely introduction.
Well, it's true. That's the biggest secret. You know, we start out with a very honest introduction. We have to. So thank you for being here today.
Thank you. I'm honored. It's my first podcast.
And I feel very lucky to be your first one. It's it's exciting. We met, I don't know, not too many months ago, but several months ago, over yoga mats. And you're local to me and you're hosting a whole bunch of yoga classes, which is amazing. And I messaged you that, hey, I've got a whole bunch of yoga mats. Do you need any? And you know what? It was so wonderful when you came over and you picked them up, and I felt like we just had this connection straight away, right? We connected over some pretty tough times in our past, and it's you. Honestly, you have an incredible story that truly just. Even thinking about it right now brings tears to my eyes. I don't know if you want to share a little bit about it, and let's hear it.
Yeah. So that traumatic part of my life that we kind of bonded over was 4 years ago now. Well, 4 years ago now, my daughter's dad passed away. Mental health. He took his life. Prior to that, I was in a kind of a domestic abusive relationship. Never physical, but mentally, which they say is, just as bad. And it was an awful time. And I think that situation can really shape you into being an even better person than you probably even was. Like for me, I found that it made me harder, but a lot softer. So I'm much more compassionate and patient with other people and myself. And I just always see that if someone is acting out or, not behaving as you would expect, normally there's a reason for it, and you have to just be patient and more kindness. And I think it's really helped with my teaching as well, with my yoga practice. I'm so compassionate, and I really focus a lot more on the mental health side of things, the mindfulness, the calming of the mind, because I believe that my partner probably should have been doing yoga a long while ago. May I save him and us from a terrible relationship,
Yeah. And I mean, and I think you're very right about that. Emotional abuse is equally as difficult as physical. And, the fact that you have come through that so resilient and, really working and transforming people's lives every day. It's like, it's something special, and I'm getting emotional thinking about it right now, but it's, it's something extremely, extremely special. Mental health is, sorry, go ahead.
It's important, special and really important. Yeah. Important for us to acknowledge that. I mean, I had a lady message me just yesterday, and she said, I was really skeptical about yoga. I used to suffer really bad with panic attacks. And her message to me was just amazing. She said, not only did I like it, I was able to switch off. I felt so calm. I almost fell asleep during the end of the class. She said, I just loved it. She said, it was so amazing. And when I get messages like that from people, I'm like, oh my God, I could cry as well. Like sometimes thinking what we give back as healers, as like spiritual teachers, and it's such a rewarding job, like just beautiful.
Yeah. It's true. And because you have like local weekly, multiple times a week classes, right? And then,
A lot of 5 classes a week, and like seasonal. Yeah.
yeah. And I know I was at your retreat in February, which I was going to say too. It was just such an amazing experience. I'm sure I was that person like snoring in class because I was tired, but I'm sure I was that person, but we'll let it go because, I needed that pause. And I felt like when I was there, that was probably like the first time I felt like I could pause for quite a while. So if you have the opportunity to go to one of her retreats, you absolutely need to. Usually in Essex down here, right? So
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Yeah, I love my retreat. They're my baby. So like my weekly retreats is lovely because I build like a nice community with people who constantly come every week. But the retreats are also there for people who have never done yoga before and really intrigued. So it's not like a retreat where you're going to go and there's some hardcore yogis, going to be in headstands. It's a wellness day. So a lot of people, they come with their mums or they come with their siblings or their partner, and they just have a really relaxing day, and everyone always surprises themselves with what they're capable of and how they was able to switch off and just be present and like kind of soak it up, and certain things really resonate with them. A lot of the time the guided meditations are really
yeah.
successful with getting people to release stored emotions in their body. That's really powerful. I find sometimes people need a little bit of their alone time after because they need to process what the hell just happened to them. Like, it's a good thing. It's good.
Yeah. It is. It's very, very good. What do you think? Like, before, I mean, okay, I guess I should go back. Have you always been into yoga? Because obviously you've been a model for quite a long time, right? And how long have you been, teaching yoga? And I
So
guess
I
what I
started
want to know. Sorry, you just go ahead.
the crossover. The crossover. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I still have both professions. I started modeling full time when I was 20. I did went to college. I studied. Studied construction and civil engineering. Actually, I wanted to be an assistant QS, quantity surveyor. But anyway, that's another story. So then, anyway, I ended up winning a TV show called Britain's Next Top Model. I think it started in America, America's Next Top Model.
Yeah.
Next Top Model in 2007. So that must have been, I don't know how many years ago now that is. Like over just under 20 years, I guess, something like that.
Yeah.
Is that really? Am I that old? Yeah, I
I
think I
know.
am. 30. Yeah. So yes, so then I started modeling, and I was traveling all over the world, internationally doing it. I was the first model from Britain's Next Top Model to be signed with an American agency. I signed with Elite in Miami. So when I was there, I remember them saying to me, like, Lauren, this is at the time when they could say this, you need to lose a little bit of weight. You're gaining a tiny bit. You need to just lose a couple of inches. Go to the gym. This is a free gym membership you can use. I went there. It was lovely. I was cycling, overlooking Miami Beach. It was beautiful. But I couldn't stand the gym. I don't like the energy of the gym. I don't like people looking at each other. I just didn't like the whole experience. I hate the gym. I'm not a fan at all. And now I am, but anyway. So I found this yoga studio in the gym, and it was like this really steamy room, and there was this guy sitting there, not saying much, just cross-legged, just like just chilling, and all these like women and guys were like flowing through this like really sweaty yoga sequence, and I was like, oh, that looks good, let's try that. So I went in to his class, and I fell in love. Like, I fell in love with my teacher, I fell in love with the practice, but most importantly, I fell in love with how I felt when I left the class. So when
Right.
I left the class, I feel like I always explain it like this, like I was carrying a rucksack. Every time I went to class, I would take out a big brick from my rucksack, and I felt lighter, and I felt more clarity in everything I did. I felt aware of why I would say things or why people would say things. I just become a lot more aware and a lot more just conscious and patient, and it was just beautiful, and I just completely fell in love with it. And it wasn't for many, many years. I always practiced and I loved it. It wasn't for many, many years until I did my training.
Right.
And I did my training not to become a teacher, just to deepen my practice. I never initially wanted to be a teacher. I wasn't a natural speaker, public speaking. So that kind of I had to really learn and grow to find my voice as a teacher. But then, yeah, so then I qualified, I think, in 2015. So I've been a qualified teacher now for quite a long while,
Wow.
and teaching full time since I had her, who's 6 now. So for 6 years, I've been teaching full time. Yeah.
That's, I mean, it's amazing. And I love that you like discovered it at the gym because I agree with you. Sometimes gym culture is like, ew, it's kind of gross.
Yeah.
But I mean, I work out at home, but when I was going to the gym, for me, it was always women's only section. And even then, sometimes it was kind of like, I don't know. So, depending, it's the gym, sometimes it's the people. You just
Motivation,
kind of,
like I couldn't, like I was like, what do I do next? Like I don't know, couldn't find motivation in the gym.
right. Oh, that makes sense. I was, for quite a while, I was like with a trainer, and that was helpful because it was that appointment. I had to be there, and at least she could just tell me what to do all of the time. But now
Mhm.
I just like working out at home. But do you, so before you found yoga, did you have trouble like being present, being in the moment, keeping kind of balance and uh, all that in your life?
Yeah, I was actually looking back, I had a lot of work to do. Like I just remember being a bit entitled. My mum's always been the sort of mum that says to me, you could do this, you can do that, and you're so much better than this. She's always installed like something that, something, like try to instill self-worth, but to the point where I would like, looking back, I felt like I was quite entitled, like I was owed something by someone all the time.
Right.
Um, and that shift in perspective happened through yoga. And I also was a bit angry. I have a bit of daddy issues. My dad left when I was, in the womb. So I think I've always held kind of like resentment and anger inside, bitterness, just the things that humans get,
Yeah.
And I think yoga really helped me with that as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
to really, yeah.
I think to even, you know, you honestly in your classes, in your teaching people, I think you really help them release a lot of stuff as as
Mm,
you work through every movement, as you work through the meditations.
mm,
It's amazing, but
yeah.
it's something to be self-aware, you know, when you have your own stuff to work through, right? And I mean, it's not an
Or
easy task.
no, and it's an ongoing process as well. You can't go, okay, I worked it now, I'm done.
Yeah.
You have to work every day, and you have to work on different things, and you have to be really open to seeing your flaws as well, and being like, like this part about you needs work. Like, and many times, a lot of the time, I've checked myself all the time about certain things in my personality and my character that I need to sort of work on. And I enjoy that as well. I finally learned to kind of see my flaws as challenges and growth potential, for like growth as a person. And I think you get that a lot of the time when you have meetings with other people, like the reflection, when you see something you don't like in someone, it's normally like because it's reflecting back at you something that reminds you of yourself, similar
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah. And it's
Mhm.
do you have any tips, I guess, about working through some of these things? Because, I'll say for me, I recently just started going back to therapy. That's one thing for me that's been like really, really helpful. Um, and obviously, there's tons of other avenues to work through, but is it,
Yeah.
simply starting with meditation, with that mindful practice and doing, writing down, reflecting, or, Do you have any ways that you would suggest that people start on something like that?
Say acknowledgement, obviously. Acknowledge what it is you need to work on. Maybe write it down with a piece of paper and a pencil and get real in front of you. Sometimes your thoughts can be quite clouded and quite jaded. You need to really get some perspective on what it is exactly that you need to work on. And then just be kind with yourself about that as well. Don't give yourself a hard time, because you're just going to have the reverse effect. I think with me, when I say, for example, I've got my bitch head on, it's the time of the month for me, and I need to check myself. I've been rude to my partner or something. I think it's then taking yourself out of a situation, taking some time to be by yourself, show yourself some love, and just breathe through it a lot of the time. So, and just acknowledgement. And yes, self-love means, oh, sorry, my battery's running low.
Oh,
Self-love means, is it back?
yeah, it's all good.
Self-love means like self-love means running a bath for yourself with like essential oils, and then booking, a yoga class to go to, and then becoming fully present. And then when they're talking to you things about with the breath, release it and let go. Think of that part of you, that thing that you might have said to someone, and then let it go, like let it all out.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then that's goodbye, move on. And then forgive yourself, forgive them, whoever, just, it's all about forgiveness and love. That's all everything boils down to when you're working through shit.
It's yes.
Forgiveness and
Yeah.
love. Self
Yeah.
love for yourself, love. Yeah.
I
And you
mean,
can
and
do
it,
that anywhere. Go to a yoga studio to do that. But yoga studios are great. Yoga teachers are great because they give you techniques and they help you like quiet your mind for a moment. They'll teach you just to like, they'll show you, not teach you, how to sit still and sit with uncomfortable feelings or discomfort and breathe through it. Pain is much more difficult, but discomfort you can work with. You can breathe through it.
yeah. So it's kind of, getting comfortable being uncomfortable. And I
Yeah,
think,
absolutely. Knowing that life isn't easy all the time. And for many of us, really, really, really fucking hard.
yes.
Life is difficult. So many of us. And I see it so many times in my class. People walk in with this expression like, I really need this today. And then they
Yeah.
leave and they look a little bit lighter. Then it's not that their problems have gone away, but they're learning to sort of manage and breathe through it. This is the power of mindfulness, it's the power of self-love, giving yourself time to nourish and nurture your own body, your feelings, your emotions. Everything is heard and seen and felt. So yeah,
Yeah. It's,
that's
I'm finding that's a theme for myself lately is like slow down. That is like
no doubt.
becoming my theme at the moment. And you know what, and
So,
it's not a bad thing, but starting to recognize that actually has been huge
yeah,
for
you
me.
are a bit of a workaholic.
What? Me? Are you sure? And-
You're
yeah, just a
always
bit.
you're
And
like always yeah, you're
yeah,
always doing different things.
yeah, just a bit,
You have so
between
many
writing. Yeah, right.
yeah.
It's like, yeah, writing books, doing the podcast. I've got another subscription box that I'm going to be launching soonish.
Yeah.
I've just got like tons of stuff going on, but I'm excited. And what's been really good for me too is I'm starting to learn to ask for help. And
From the
that
universe or from, sorry, I'm going to open my
both.
window quickly.
Yeah, no,
Both.
from both, I would say. I'm going to be bringing somebody in to help me with my garden because as much as I love gardening, I can't keep on top of it at the minute. And so
Yeah.
if somebody can come once a month to do my
Mm-hmm.
weeding and do my pruning, I'm solid golden, you know. My son has said he wants to help me with all my social media, creating content. And I'm like, yes, because you know what? You're going to be way better at this than I am, the actual
Yeah,
creation. And so it's like, you know, getting these help, this kind of help from people, you know, it helps me be more effective. And so it's even this
it's
slowing
showing
down.
yourself.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
you're giving
you,
yourself love, yourself a break.
yeah. And I mean, it's been a hard one to learn, I think, because I don't know, and probably in some way you've felt it too, I would guess, as a woman especially, your value kind of comes from how hard you work. And, you
Hmm.
know, it's but learning that, like, no, that's not that's not what makes you valuable, is how hard you work, whatever. There's so much more to the whole thing, and slowing down, taking care, it's so much better. Just life changing.
The most important value I learned recently, or for a long while ago when I first started doing yoga, was about simplicity with life. It doesn't have to be all, you know, golden all the time. Just simplicity in everyday life. I know it's very, everyone says this, but the first sip of coffee in the morning, like gratitude for the simple things of like the sun coming through the window, the sound of your child laughing in the next room. Like, it's just like little things that real bring me joy and
Yes.
satisfaction. Yeah, it does satisfy me when I sell out a retreat. And at the end of the retreat, everyone's like, oh, it's amazing. But I get the same from that quietness in the morning when, that you just the day is starting and it's just the same sort of feeling inside. It's all the same. So just realize that simplicity is something that just makes we can all tap into that, and
Yeah.
just be grateful for things.
I think, I've talked about it on some of my channels before, but this overcomplicating our spiritual practices, our lives in general, but our diets are everything that we do. I don't know why, as people, we seem to like this overcomplication when it could be pretty simple, right? And like you say, this
Yeah,
this quiet practice of gratitude in the morning throughout the day. It's one
yeah,
it's one thing to make it very easy. Do you find that
yeah,
people are doing that
absolutely.
too? Like,
Yeah, I do. I find that people, I think social media has its benefits sometimes, because with me on my yoga page, I get a lot of related things that help me with wellness and mental health, and I'm always searching those pages. And one massive thing that's really I learned from social media was about your morning routine and how it benefits your entire life. And
yeah,
so your morning routine is really important, like how you start the day. Yeah. And again, that comes down to gratitude and being slow, and just starting to not overcomplicate things the moment you wake up. Okay, what have I got to do? What have I got to do? Um, yeah.
what does
And
your
which
morning
we
routine look like?
So my morning routine, I co-sleep with my daughter as we live alone together. Like I just have just me and my daughter, and I just love sleeping with her. I have 3 cats. So in the morning, I wake up normally to my sleeping on my chest. The mum of the cat, I have three. She's the mum, and I just wake up and I stroke my cats and I stroke my daughter's hair and I kiss her face, and it's all just love, love, love. Everything is love around me. The moment I wake up, I'm very blessed. I know this as well. Very, very blessed, and I appreciate the house and like the safety of my house, and I appreciate that I get to walk to school in the morning because we only live close to the school, and I enjoy every morning having that nice sort of knowing that I'm going to have a bit of fresh air at 8:30 every morning, like just a quick walk to school. So my morning would just be I wake up, I feed my cats, I put an incense stick on, I say, I won't say it too loud, Alexa, play my yoga playlist.
Yeah.
and she'll play my relaxing music. And yeah, life's beautiful. I make a breakfast, we get ready, and it's very samey. But again, I just love it because it's soft and it's slow and it's gentle. And then when I drop Luna off from school, work mode kicks in, and I like that as
Right.
well. I'm like, right, so let's let's attack today. Let's do today. Let's do this. You got this. And yeah,
Yeah.
and then I get to see well. I'm so lucky to have a job because as soon as I go in, I got familiar faces I haven't seen for a week because so it's a Monday morning class. I haven't seen them for a week. We've got
Yeah.
much to catch up on. It's so much fun, and yeah, that's my morning routine.
No, I love that. I mean, I think mine's pretty much the same every day too, but it's usually for me, I get up, I get my son ready for school, then I do exercise, then I walk the dog, uh, and then I get into like more of the day after that. Then I go into work mode. But then I also usually am doing like walking meditations while I'm out, uh, especially when I know not that I can't, but I probably won't make time to like sit down and have that space in the day. So I'll do like I love doing walking meditations, even if I'm not like deep into it, sometimes just listening and having something to reflect on as I do my walk. I love that.
Yeah,
But it's,
yeah.
you're right. It's so important. How you start your day, that's how it sets you up physically, energetically.
Mhm.
It's it's so important.
And I also find having something to look forward to makes me happy as well. So even if I book a little weekend trip somewhere, like I booked like a little shepherd's hut with my daughter in August in summer, but I saw it was on sale. It was sale on Airbnb, and it was like £60 for like the weekend. I thought, oh my god! So we planned a little itinerary around that, and just having like little things to plan for. You don't have to spend any money, but like always having something to look forward to is kind of important for me as well. Like
Yeah.
planning nice to enjoy and explore and have a little adventure. Like recently, I bought a little paddle board from the factory shop, which was like a bargain. I got it in a factory shop. It was like this beautiful paddle board that we go out to Paper Mill Lock in Chelmsford. And just having days like this where you can just enjoy life. And I think that's really important as well. So just making time for adventures in your life and exploring, finding your inner child, doing something fun with, yeah, I think that's again another factor of staying happy.
Yeah, playing. Whew, it's important.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very
Feeding.
important for your life.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, and I think we neglect our inner childs a lot. It's very sad, but I think it's kind of become a social construct in some ways that you're just
Yeah.
meant to cut that part of you off, but you're really not supposed to. Not at all.
Well, being an adult, what do they say? It's all anxiety and bills. Being an
Yeah,
adult is just anxiety and bills. Well, they're
that's
not
kind of
half
true.
wrong. It's definitely which is why we work hard because if you get anxiety when you can't pay the bills. Like this is kind of like sometimes you think I don't want to be an adult today. I just want to be a kid. I want to play. I want to go out. I don't want to do anything but enjoy my life today. So it's about trying to make time for that as well, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. And I think from what I see from you, it seems like you have a really good balance. And I love that for you and for your daughter. It makes me really happy.
Thank thank you, Ashley. That's so sweet. Yeah, I really again work a lot on trying to keep that balance, but I think only really since my ex-partner, Luna's father, took his life, have I honed in on okay, I'm gonna live this life, and she's gonna live this life, and I'm gonna show her the best life, and like I work to live. I don't live to work, but I also enjoy my work. So I know how lucky I am. I know how grateful I am. Although I went through a traumatic time, it's definitely just made me a better person.
Yeah,
You know, I
yeah. And
and well, like your
Sorry.
trauma with that? Okay. Do you feel like it helped you be a better person, like the trauma of being in a relationship like that?
I guess I was, I'm just sitting here thinking about it. I, one of the things I think I told you, like, I lost my brother to suicide when I was 7. And um, I do, so on that side of it, I think that has 100% shaped me to who I am today, to be compassionate and
Wow.
to be caring for people. It's sad in a way, but when people around me have been affected by suicide, I am the first person that they call usually. And I
Uh,
feel I feel so lucky that people will share that space with me and come with to see me with comfort or for comfort.
I
Um,
do it as come to me. It feels nice to sort of help, doesn't it?
yes, and it gives you a whole new perspective on life, um, and I mean, just everything that life can be. And I think also going through uh, going through the abusive relationship, yes, I think it's still teaching me a lot of lessons. I think right now it's teaching me a lot about boundaries. It's teaching me a
Mm-hmm.
lot about like protecting my safety and helping people find safety in their world around them. And that's been really really good. I think it's been transformative for me, and I think even when people talk to me now or see me now after like the kind of 2.5 years it's been, people are like, holy shit, you are like, it's like night and day, because I basically
Or
wasn't
goosebumps.
even existing. I, what I say to people is that truthfully, when I got out, I felt like, you see on whatever, I don't know, on movies where they're carrying somebody's lifeless body out of a fire, um, you know, where they're like they've inhaled too much smoke or whatever. Um, that's kind of how I felt for quite a while. And, it was like therapists, it was counselors, it was friends, it was family, doctors, lawyers. They are all kind of like holding me by my arms and just carrying me through life for that first while, because I don't even know how I was functioning at that time. I don't think I really
Mm,
even was.
yeah, I can't remember. I can't remember most of it. I think you block it out a
Yeah.
little bit, just because you don't relive in it. It's not kind to yourself to keep reliving it. You have to like put it in a box. It's it's there, but you buried it. Like it happened, and now we plant flowers on top, and we grow.
Yes.
You
Oh my
know,
God. I love that. Because it's like, even,
you grow.
yeah, yeah, exactly. It's, so
Mhm.
one of the things one of my therapists said was, you your body is, and your brain, sorry, specifically, is designed to block that trauma out. It's like,
Mm,
ooh, you know what, that felt really bad, we don't want to feel like that anymore. And so we, you know we truly do block it out. I have a list of 24 pages of incidents that I had to record as they were happening. If I look back on it now, I go, holy shit, I didn't even realize, you know, just how awful the whole situation was. And even now I look back, I'm like, oh my God, that did happen. And
mhm.
it's amazing. But I mean, amazing, like how I made it through, right? And it's amazing looking back now and thinking about what life looks like today.
Yeah, you've
Just
done
the
so well.
transformation.
When I come to your house, you've made a beautiful home for you and your son. Beautiful, yeah, beautiful home. And you're running several businesses. You're welcoming me into your home, offering a stranger a cup of tea. You're a really beautiful person, and you're doing really well. Yeah,
Oh,
and I'm,
thank you.
before with the trauma, but what I can see, you have definitely must have come a long way because you're smashing it. You're just, oh.
Oh, thank you. And that means a lot because honestly, I look at you and I feel the exact same. I'm just, to be fair, everybody listening, we know each other, but it's not like we know each other that well. And I am so thankful for our friendship. And
Yeah,
oh,
me too.
why do I have to get emotional on like every single episode? This is getting crazy, but it's
I
good though.
stuff actually. Talking about some
Yeah,
heavy stuff is important stuff that a lot of women have gone through as well. So it's nice to talk about it.
yeah.
Um,
So I guess I know we've got some like time limits today. So if people want to find you, where is the best place for them to find you online?
my Instagram, so I'm very active on my Instagram. It's yoga with Lauren, just
Great.
yoga underscore Lauren. And the same on my Facebook page, Yoga with Lauren.
Okay, great. And we'll share those in the show notes wherever you may be watching or listening
Thank
today.
I enjoyed my first podcast.
Yay! I'm so thankful to have you here. So thank you again for being with us, Lauren, and
So
we
nice.
will see you soon. Thanks.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Thank you.